Jethro Tull's Thick as a Brick. Now this one's going to cause me some trouble because like I mentioned in the last post, my relationship with Jethro Tull's repertoire is very, very limited because early in my career listening to music, I bought a Jethro Tull's Greatest Hits album. And as much as I enjoyed that, it sort of discouraged me from going on and buying full albums of Jethro Tull. The only other Jethro Tull album I ever bought, I bought at the same time, which was Crest of a Knave. And I think that most would laugh at the idea that that was my big, Jethro Tull album. And at the time, I really enjoyed it, but it has not aged well. Thick as a Brick, on the other hand, has aged incredibly well, and it's one of those albums that most Jethro Tull fans consider the apex of their progressive rock work. Many times they talk these days about how progressive rock groups are making full albums worth of song, like Transatlantic, the Whirlwind is a full hour-long song, and how about that? How that's so innovative. Well, Jethro Tull did that on this album in the early 70s. It's hard to see it because Thick as a Brick, because it was first released on vinyl, was constrained to 20-minute sides, roughly. So even though it was, I think, considered to be a full-length song, a 45-minute song in composition, you had to flip in the middle, and that kind of gives you the illusion there's a part one and part two. But I think it's supposed to be conceived as a full piece of music. And I've been trying to lean away from using live clips to show examples of what I find so great about some of these albums. But some of these 70s progressive rock groups really only had live things to show for it. There weren't great videos made. And so many of them were so fantastic and so well played that's hard to pass them up. And this clip that you'll see of Jethro Tull doing a section of Thick as a Brick, Ian Anderson just sounds so fantastic. His vocals are so great and his stage presence is amazing. His ability to connect with the crowd is charismatic and insane. He's a madman and a genius, and it all comes out in this album. And I think this is one that, again, when you start talking about a retro album and we're looking at the top 20 of 2025, this one's going to kind of come up and poke up its head again and again, because I think it really is, in an alternate universe, a crucial entry into the progressive rock paradigm, probably one that equals to or surpasses that of, like Close to the Edge for Yes, which some people see as a defining landmark in progressive rock music. There's a strand of progressive rock, I think, that they could say the same thing about the importance of Jethro Tull to progressive rock. And this is kind of the album that was their Close to the Edge. It was their Dark Side of the Moon. And it's an amazingly well-crafted and well-formed piece of progressive rock music, a real iconic example of the style.